Hey everybody, it's me again, Kale. Here once more. Yes, continue the game. That's what I'm here for. I want to play some Xenogears. Me, Kale. Take me to the battle. The Kislev capital's north central administrative district. Look, we're trying to save. We're on a budget. You should probably save like character length. Constructed by Bart's ancestor, Rani Fatima, after the Great War with Solaris many hundreds of years ago. I'm sorry, that thing is a secret battleship created by Bart's ancestor? It's in a different country! I was pretty sure it was a battleship. It always looked like a battleship. But I didn't... You know what? Again, how cool would this have been to be like an entire, like, story arc? Where I go through the ship in like a dungeon format, taking out, I don't know, some like insurrectionist group. That'd have been cool. The existence of the secret battleship remained hidden. Later, the ship was turned to the section of the Kislev imperial capital during the founding of the empire. Uncovering this truth from some ancient records, Bart activated the secret battleship in order to fight against the Solarian mobile surface supremacy weapon. He does a lot of activating secret battleships, doesn't he? The sand cruiser Yggdrasil was actually the center of the command. Also the main secret weapon of the craft. Of course it was. Of fucking course it was. Awakening it from 500 years of dormancy, its true form appeared before us. Commanded by its new master, the secret battleship stood before the mobile weapon with all of us inside of it. Again! Would have been really cool to play some of that! From this description, can you imagine just how cool that would have been to, like, learn and go through and, like, have a storyline with? Would have been pretty cool, right? I think it would have been pretty cool. What about you? Oh, look at it just nestled in there. Oh my god, is it a Daiguren? Oh my god, it's a Daiguren! It's gonna be really disorienting for everybody in the Yggdrasil. Super Dimensional Gear Yggdrasil 4! Good. Honestly, couldn't ask for more. You tell him, Bart. Alright! Transformation complete! Come on, monster, let's go! Oh. Bink. Bink. Bitch, I got 100,000 HP. You gonna hit me with those little blinks? Mm-mm. 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 What kind of special cannons we got? Suck! Battleship! Again, this kind of thing would have been a really cool reward for, like, going through an entire dungeon and fighting a regular boss on foot, and then it's like, alright, let's activate the super cool Ultra Mech, and then we need to have this fight as just like a cool set piece after it, like an entire story arc builds up to it. We're hearing bits and pieces about how this battleship is so fucking cool. There could have been so much technobabble, that's all I'm saying. It would have been amazing. Fucking dropkick this motherfucker. Urgh! This thing have combos? pretty cool if it had combos. You know, it'd be even cooler. Oh, it doesn't have combos. If it had a drill. Hold on. I need to recharge my fuel. I seem to be out for some reason. I didn't think the Yggdrasil cannon took that much. Oh, maybe Dad forgot to refuel it when he parked it. That makes sense. Not Dad, Ancestor, I suppose. Yeah, see, it would have been really cool. A Solaris mobile weapon was destroyed. Like, we could have had a whole thing in Bledavik where Bart's, like, getting people to shelters. We're fighting some Solaris goons as this giant thing starts rolling through the city, blasting shit. Ah, it would have been awesome! Unfortunately, we blew the budget. We ran out of budget. We didn't have any funding for it. God, it would have been cool! Which brought a sigh of relief to the continent of Ignis. Peace was signed, and after some 500 years of division, the land of Ignis once again became united. And again, we could have gone through all of that diplomatic bullshit! Ah, there could have been so much intrigue and, like, infighting, little insurrectionist plot. We could have like, snuck inside somewhere and, like, busted out the king of, the like, was he Kaiser? I think it was a Kaiser. The Kaiser of Kislev, and then Rico could have been important to the story again for, like, the second time ever, and, like, buried the hatchet with his father, and then he'd been like, very well, I give you authorization to move the palace of Kislev, and I would have been like, ah, it's so cool! Sadness. Excitement spread throughout Ava, Nisan, Kislev, and Shavat. The sky shimmered as if to celebrate with the hands of Eli, Citan, Tara, and Emeralda. The nanomachines have been dispersed into the atmosphere. Oh, imagine, like, having, like, so many, like, closer panning shots after all that, too, as the two storylines come back together. Oh, and, like, don't even get me started on the mass driver situation. We could have had, like, a whole dungeon crawl where there were, like, some Solaris goons in there, and then maybe, like, some, like, wells, or maybe even, like, ancient, like, machine guardians keeping the place protected. Ah! So many options. God damn it! That was when disaster struck. Our songs of victory were replaced with the sounds of total pandemonium. In the beginning, we had no idea what had transpired. We witnessed inexplicable phenomena. People from all parts of the globe began to mutate into abnormal forms. And then we could have had this breakout and like, oh, just been like mass chaos, and we gotta like undo it, and we're like, oh no, we did a bad thing, but we did it for humanity. How could we have known? It seemed to be triggered when the nanomachines removed the limiter seal that was placed on humankind by Krelian in the past. The human form with its innate abilities released. That's when I remembered what Hammer said back in Solaris. His words were, what becomes of the normal humans? And we could have just had something that wasn't just a bunch of talking heads on an orb. Though they are naturally germinating because the resurrection of God is near. Those who will become the body of our servant. I never knew so many would exist. even without using the key. Some of them still have not yet begun to germinate. Are they not destined to be the flesh of God? Or perhaps those are the enemies of God. Let us reactivate the strategic points of the Soylent. At any rate, they are just incomplete mutants. They are useless now in their half-finished form. God's apostles. There cannot be any harm in having too many of them. The chains that restrained humankind have been removed because of you. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with our plan. Everything is still under control. In the event of the explosion in the capital of Solaris earlier, I had set up a nanomachine virus to diffuse into the atmosphere. I knew they were eventually going to break the seal. Timing was a little close for comfort. Current mutations of humans, their initial response to the virus. Once the virus we spread over the world germinates inside of the humans, they are no longer the same. Change into a controllable form. We need humans that do not depend on the keys and invocation in order to awaken. In other words, a being to take the place of the original body of God. Like a Trojan horse released at the time, the assimilation with God. A literal virus. But isn't it different from what they intended? Of course. We can't let them have their way. The Ark of God is mine. Either way, it's fine by me. I will just side with whichever is the more certain one anyway. God, imagine if we had, like, more budget for developing the, like weird nonsense that's going on with Krellian 2. The Soylent System, a group of facilities formerly created by Solaris. These facilities existed all over the Earth. It is said that originally these were used for biological experiments and brainwashing. Now I have to ask, where on the Earth? Because the largest landmass is controlled by 2 countries. None of them are nearly this advanced, though they do have some installations that, you know, have technology. Like, the only place that really existed that had this level of technology still active was underneath the Ethos. There was nowhere else on this globe. There weren't even, like, placeholder things, and they clearly added that mass driver on Disc 2, because that wasn't there. I scoured the Earth for interesting sights, and I saw nothing! Damn you, budget cuts! Love the first disc of this game. The second disc just makes me angry. So much potential. It is said that originally these were for biological experiments and brainwashing. Probably gonna cut myself off more than a few times. Oh god. Oh no, we made sprites for them. People who mutated into what were called wells, the true form of humans, gathered at these facilities. Some of the humans turned wells were attacking healthy humans and devouring their flesh and blood. That is because healthy humans' flesh and blood ease the pain of their sudden molecular changes and let them live longer. Their lives were so short. Soon after, severely mutated beings started to seek the flesh and blood of the less mutated beings. The Soylent System divides and merges those mutated bodies on a molecular level. A set of facilities that recreate a more perfect single life form to be used as a weapon. This was the truth behind the Gazelle's Ministry M plan. Does the M plan stand for meat plan? Oh, I don't like that. That's some body horror shit right there. It's slowly growing hands, too? Oh. Okay, admittedly, they used what budget they had on the cool shit, at the very least. Go to those facilities, and you will be freed from the unbearable agony. So people gathered, seeking fulfillment of this promise. There is salvation there. The news spread, although no one actually uttered it. Their mutated blood probably told such people to gather there. They went there to destroy the Solan system. We went there to destroy the Solan system. There, humans fought amongst themselves greedily for limited pardons to live. It was an ugly battle to keep on living. So it may have seemed to the casual passerby. To me, they were desperately trying to live. As each person's natural human form. There were the haves and the have-nots, and among them, some of my former friends from Solaris. They wanted our flesh and blood. Told us the haves should share what the have-nots. Sorry, there's a lot of text in this back half, man. Bound to stumble eventually. They asked if a have, such as myself, could understand their pain. I couldn't answer. Also, I couldn't tell whose voice this was. Apparently, it's Ellie's. No matter what I said, it would have sounded like conceited have speaking. Even so, I wanted to relieve their anguish, and I decided to do so. It's like the person in the memory of my dreams, the distant past. And then suddenly, the system went out of control! Did we really not even have enough in the budget for, like, pacing? Just saying. I don't believe pacing costs that much. The Sufal mass, a monstrous organism still in the process of amalgamation, broke through the barrier of the life support facilities and stood before us. No longer of human form, that which was once human began eating the people gathered there, seeking relief. We had to fight it, in order to save the people, and in order to save him. The eyes of that which was once human looked at me, pleading for death. Take away the agony. Yeah, sure, man. Oh, good, you're using your sword now! I was wondering when you start using that. Yeah, because, you know, Seton needed a buff. Of all people, Seton needed a buff. Fuck you, Uzuki. Is there anything better than +1 agility? Not especially. Yeah, no, you're good. Nah, keep the Wizardry Ring on. I don't know how many more chances we're gonna have to fight, so let's get the most out of that. How you doing, buddy? Oh, Doc still needs to learn a few things. Alright, cool. Do I still get a chance to change my party? When does I hit? Wait a minute. Okay, good. This is kind of an Ellie thing. But I do like Bart. Nah, who am I kidding? It's probably just gonna be Faye, Ellie, and Seton for the rest of the game anyway. Look, we glanced over everybody else's, like, major thing. Except for maybe Emeralda. We might get more Emeralda. That whole, like, final battle with Giant Mech and Kislev and that was clearly the opportune moment to make Bart and Rico, specifically, the main character for a little bit. And we didn't have the budget for it. Yeah, we're good. Let's just get this over with. I'm gonna fight a bunch of little guys too, huh? Alright. Just me, or is the music quieter too? Do we not have enough budget for volume? God damn, we really are scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Doc would practice Eido. Pretentious asshole. Oh, there we go. Fuck. And that wasn't even a miss. Alright, noted. These guys are surprisingly durable. Then again, I am holding back. In part because I want to, you know, practice my skills. So that in time, my skills may pay the bills. Become Meteor! That's true. All of Doc's moves actually change once he gets a sword. I should, like, use all of his new moves. That's not what I want to do at all. That was a mistake. Man, how cool would this have been if we had, like an entire dungeon build-up to it, you know? I'm gonna be saying that a lot, but, you know, it's true. How cool would it have been? I would have thought it'd be cool. Ow. I better get a shot before, you know, at the very least, the end of the game. I'm gonna want to restock. Did you not have a combo for that? I might not have a combo for that. Motherfucker just kills people. That's not right either. I'm losing my goddamn mind over here. Oh well. Festive wind! God damn it. Okay, I can't use the elemental attacks because they just eat them. Noted. That's right, Faye, immediately making up ground. So what you're telling me is, don't bother healing, just resurrecting. Got it. Okay. I can do that. Zanretsu! That's kind of cool. Man, I'm really glad I didn't bring Billy to this. Third of his nonsense would just be healed. Yako! That was kind of silly, but I loved it. I hate this guy. How does it feel to be the lowest budget boss we could find? Damn, Doc. I didn't realize you were a bard. What are you talking about? My vicious mockery has been on point this entire game. You don't need to factor that into a budget. Himatsu! Oh, he even did the cool thing where he, like, stalled to sheath his sword when the thing died. God damn it, why is Doc always the coolest? C-Ton, please lend me your sword. Oh, we get a cuts? Oh, we got budget for cutscenes. I see how it is. So it can die somewhat relieved, at the very least.
I'm sorry. I guess I couldn't help you after all. All I can do for you now is ease your wounds.
We didn't have enough budget for, like, full voice
I'm
acting.
sorry.
Ellie, you...
Please, listen to me. Stop fighting among yourselves. We're all human. The facility was built by the Solaris Ministry. It was created to implement their no-waste plan. Such facilities were to convert mutated humans into weapons that serve as tools for their ambition. It's one part of their overall plan of racial purification. Of course, once you enter their umbrella of protection, you can avoid absolute death. But is that human life? Even if you are the only one left, if you're devoid of a heart, what does it all mean? All of you want to be loved, needed by someone. So we look to others. By ourselves, we're lonely. So we try to draw close together to live. That's what it means to be human. That's how people live. A single hand cannot clap. To relieve your pain, I'll give however much of my flesh you need. Therefore, don't throw away your dignity as humans. Don't let go of your human heart. Ellie, you okay? What are you doing? I think I'm doing something foolish. No. I did what I could. Maybe I'm a hypocrite. I'm well to do have. It's only pity for the have-nots. If I can know the joy of giving out a little of my life within me, maybe someday it may just be possible that one human can truly give love to another. Who can do it? I believe they can. That's why. Ellie. After that, we went from place to place, destroying the Soylent System facilities. See? That would have been fun to play at least one more of, you know? This little dungeon crawl, get some cool treasure. Something. Located on the surface of the Earth, and freed the people held at each of the locations. All the people that had been mutated were taken in by Nissan, where they received treatment. Those who had mutated only mildly were treated with Tower's nanomachines, which reconstructed and revived them. They were able to return back to their normal bodies. Fortunately, there were some that had such accelerated symptoms that their treatment was not as promising. Trying to bring them back to a form that resembled human was the best that could be done. However, mysteriously, they no longer fought each other for survival as they did when they were held by the Sun System. Of course, the recovery from the physical pain of the mutation may have played a factor. It wasn't only that. The majority of the people received by Nissan were those that had been admonished by Ellie and regained their humanity. Between her work in destroying the Solar System factories, Ellie also went around and nursed the people in Nissan. She aided the bodies of the mutated and lent an ear to those who had no other place to go for help. She was the very image of the woman who created Nissan, Mother Sophia. It became rumored that Ellie was a reincarnation or second advent of Sophia. Oh boy, if only they knew! Go to Nissan and you will receive salvation. The news seemed to spread further about, and people came from all over to be saved, physically and spiritually. Free from the supervision of Solaris, the surface dwellers began to unite in one place. The germinating of those destined to be the body of the servant of God. As before, the humans are gathering in Nissan at this rate. Not to fear. This might actually be helpful to us. The time is near. Should we not prepare for those who are to become the fleshly body of God, and those who will awaken God? The time has come to activate the Geisha Key. Wait! Jane? What more do you intend to do? I could not allow you to use the key. Jane, what are you doing? Without the resurrection of God, our purpose cannot be fulfilled. Oh, are you planning to perish with God? Jane! I'm fulfilling our purpose. Your purpose. You were fated to it from your birth. Why haven't you realized that it does not arise from your own free will? I've had enough. This is of our own volition. If you still insist on imposing us... Ah! Have you forgotten? You are my subordinates. I can destroy you if I so desire. Ah! You have already done your part. It is time to pass the helm to the next generation. The people will not perish. Again, it would have been really cool to have a little bit more build up to Kane being kind of cool. Anyway, that seems like a good place to, like, cut. Also, we got this super cool music, so clearly we're going into, like, a new scene. Hope we're all enjoying story time with Faye and the gang. If you are, let me know down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll come back next time and see why everything's so goddamn hype all of a sudden. Till then, you'll have yourselves a fabulous day. And I'll see you next adventure. Or chapter, I suppose. Later. Bye, buddy.